And finally, new rule, Donald Trump must be inducted into the Friars Club because he's a comedian. I say that not as a cheap insult, but because he works like a comedian. I do stand-up dates, he does rallies. I feed off the crowd, he feeds off the crowd. When I find a bit, a hunk, a chunk that the audience really digs, I keep doing it. And so does this chunk. Since last April, one of Trump's go-to killer bits involves me, although I'm only referred to by a variety of colorful names like crazy maniac, wacko comedian, low-life dummy. And yet, he often refers to this program as a big show.
They have this wacky guy on television, and he's doing an interview. Big show. One of these crazy maniacs on the show. Big show.
So, tonight, out of respect for the president, I'm officially changing our name from Real Time with Bill Maher to Big Show with Crazy Maniac. And what is it that Crazy Maniac has been saying that put such a bug up Trump's ass? I'll let him tell you.
I mean, you have one guy on television. I'm telling you, he's not leaving. There's no way we're ever going to get him out of office. He's not leaving, you know that. And then he's staying longer. I'm telling you, he's not leaving. He'll never leave. He's going to stay.
That's it. He tells the story about how I keep saying that if he loses the election in November, he's not going to leave. And I'll tell you why I keep saying that. Because if Trump loses the election in November, he's not going to leave. Now, maybe I will be shown to be a crazy maniac. But I'm not alone in this anymore. Last year, Michael Cohen agreed.
Given my experience working for Mr. Trump, I fear that if he loses the election in 2020, that there will never be a peaceful transition of power.
See? Do me a favor. Try and picture Donald Trump losing an election graciously. Go ahead, I'll wait. Try to imagine him on election night saying, "It was an honor to serve, but the people have spoken and I respect the results." I've called President-elect Klobuchar to tell her I'm rooting for her to succeed. It's inconceivable. Because above all, Donald Trump wants you to know one thing about him. He doesn't lose, period. Other than 2 marriages, 3 casinos, an airline. A football league, 4 magazines, a vodka brand, a university, and a charity. Donald Trump never loses anything. Never loses and never wrong. So why would the White House be different? This is a guy who farts and blames it on the dog, and he doesn't have a dog. They once asked Trump the difference between him and Richard Nixon.
I don't leave. There's a big difference. I don't leave.
Here he is last week. Last week. What's on his desk? One thing. A map of the 2016 election. He still hasn't gotten over the election. He won. He's a sore winner. So imagine when he actually loses. Here's what he said in 2016 when he thought he was going to lose.
This whole election is being rigged. The whole thing is one big fix.
So, the groundwork has been set. If Trump loses, there's 0 chance he doesn't say it's a conspiracy by the deep state trying to take another rightful election from you people, my people. Yes, let's talk about his people. The ones who would rather burn the place to the ground than hand the country over to some pinko who's trying to give them health care. Because his people have a very different idea about how power is transferred in a democracy.
He's not going to be removed. My .357 Magnum is comfortable with that.
Yeah, the truck nut demographic is not going to take it well, and Trump is counting on that. He once said, I have the support of the police, the military, the bikers. I have the tough people. But they don't play it tough until they, meaning the Democrats, go to a certain point, and then it would be very, very bad. Go to a certain point. And what could that point be where we need to involve the bikers? And the other tough people, like maybe you losing an election? Is that when we've pushed it too far? So my question to all Democratic candidates is, what's the plan? If you win, and the next day he claims he's voiding the election because of irregularities he's hearing about, what do you do? What do you do when the crowd that was in Virginia this week, 22,000 strong, marches on Washington? This is a scary moment. And when I've asked Democrats, what do we do if he doesn't go? Their answer is always some variation of, we have to win big.
Win big, not just win.
Vote him out of office by 25 percentage points.
It's more than squeaking out a narrow victory.
We have to defeat him decisively.
We would need a landslide.
Okay, first of all, no! No! We don't have to win by a landslide. Jesus. Fucking Democrats. I am so sick of Democrats volunteering to play by two different sets of rules. That's the new paradigm. Republicans can win by one vote, but we're not legitimate unless it's a landslide. Fuck. And two, do you really think it would matter if it was? That they would suddenly get rational about math and facts? They believed Hillary ran a pedophile ring out of a pizza parlor. Do you think that the same Senate that refuses to even hear witnesses during an impeachment trial is going to stop Trump when he calls the next election rigged? Who's going to stand up to him? The Attorney General who auditioned for the job? The Senate Majority Leader who killed every bill that could keep the Russians from interfering? The Supreme Court justices he appointed? Who? Oh, that's right. Susan Collins. She always comes through.